All right, John chapter 8, verses 12 on to the rest of the chapter. A very tense moment between Jesus and these religious leaders, the religious Jews of that day. You imagine what it would be like now, with the Christian leaders of our country arguing with Jesus. I mean, I would hope that they wouldn't be, at this point, maybe the false leadership anyhow. They thought that they knew better, but that Jesus spoke to them saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in the darkness, but will have the light of life. That's the difference between habitual sinning versus just sinning, and then seeking forgiveness and walking with the Lord. Habitual sinning, you cannot be walking with the Lord and doing that at the same time. The Pharisees start talking to him about testifying of himself and says, you judge according to the flesh. I judge according to, what I know, and the Father is with me. And they're like, where is your Father? And he says, you know neither me nor your Father. And then they go, you are a bastard child. We know who our Father is. And Jesus is like, my Father is God. It blows me away that it gets to that point where they bring up his lineage. They bring up all the 30 years of rumors and gossip about Mary and Joseph. And even though Mary and Joseph, did get married, they did have more children, brothers and sisters of Jesus are mentioned, we see that still followed him around. Even the religious leadership at that point knew about that rumor going around Nazareth, that Jesus, we don't know who his Father is, but we do know, because he tells us right here. He tells us, you neither know me nor my Father. If you knew me, you would know my Father as well. And he goes on from there talking about how, verse 28, when you lift the Son of Man up, you will know that I am he. And that goes all the way back to Exodus 3. That goes all the way back to the burning bush in Moses, when God appeared to Moses and said, tell them I am sent you. That is the voice of the burning bush speaking to the Pharisees right there. And they know it. They hear it. They hear it in his voice. It goes on about sin and slavery. Everyone who commits sin is a slave to sin. If the Son makes you free, you'll be free indeed. I know that you're Abraham's descendants, yet you seek to kill me. I like this, like, you have a demon. We don't seek to kill you. And it's like, really? The Son of Man, I do not have a demon. I was surprised he even said that. I don't have a demon. Like, he really did need to clarify that to them. If you were Abraham's children, you would do the deeds of Abraham. Jesus isn't saying that they weren't legitimately heirs of Abraham. They were, but not by spirit, just by flesh. And he's saying that anybody who does the deeds of God, does the deeds of Jesus, and is his, is also a spiritual child of Abraham. But it's really more powerful than that. When it gets down to it, it says in verse 42, if God were your Father, you would love me, for I have proceeded forth and have come from God. Why do you not understand what I am saying? You are of the father, the devil. When he speaks, he is a liar. He's been a liar from the beginning, because he was a murderer from the beginning. He spiritually murdered Adam and Eve, getting them to sin. It goes on from there. It's amazing. Down to 53. Surely you are not greater than our father Abraham, who died, and the prophets died too. Who do you make yourself out to be? Jesus answered, if I glorify myself, my glory is nothing. It goes on to talk about them being a liar, just like them. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad. The Jews said to him, you are not yet 50 years old, and have you seen Abraham? Truly, truly, I say to you, before Abraham was, I am. And then they picked up stones to throw at him. That moment, he was proclaiming to be the voice in the burning bush. That moment, Jesus was proclaiming to be the Son of God. So yes, anyone that tells you Jesus didn't call him to be God, just point him out to the Gospel of John, especially chapter 8, because it's deep. We get into the tension between them. And I love when they say, we have never been in slavery to anybody. I'm like, let's count, shall we? Let's see. We have the Philistines, the Egyptians, Babylonians, Persians, Syrians. They're enslaved right now to Rome. Rome is literally everywhere. They can't even put Jesus to death because of the laws that Rome has put in place. So yeah, it's not that they're not in slavery, but in their minds, they aren't. And I think that's dangerous for us. We need to remember, in our minds, we're not enslaved to sin. It's okay. We can handle this. We can handle the temptation. We can handle a sin here and there. The Lord will forgive us. Be careful, Christian. Be careful. That's not how it works. You need to be seeking him every day. Yeah, you're going to mess up. Yeah, you're going to sin. We all do. We all fall flat on our face before the Lord, seeking his grace and mercy, but we're not habitually out there sinning as a daily lifestyle. That's when it gets you. I know I ran a little bit long today, but there's just so much in chapter 8. We're going to get into chapter 9 in the next video. Continue studying, my friend. Study and hear from the voice of the Lord. Amen. God bless.